Maher's 2024 election predictions. Probable Trump win is not a very good candidate Biden. In a preview shared by CNN for the new episode of Who's Talking to Chris Wallace, real-time host and comedian Bill Maher weighed in on the upcoming 2024 elections. Despite usually taking a dig at former President Donald Trump, Maher couldn't hold back from outrightly declaring that he's running a much more serious campaign this time. Openly outlining the severe polarization in the prevalent political discourse in the U.S., Maher recently released his most opinionated book ever. What this comedian said will shock you. Though presumably his conversation with Wallace revolved around the general brouhaha surrounding the present election noise, he also expanded his prediction theories on who probably will take the lead as the president again this fall. Digging deeper into the subject, the controversial comedian asserted that Trump is going to show up on Inauguration Day, whether he wins or loses, because he will claim that he won. "That is the one thing I can absolutely predict with utter certainty," concluded Maher. Adding on, he claimed, "He will never, as I kept saying all those years, he will never concede an election. He's certainly not going to concede this one." Delving into the possibilities of a Trump 2.0 comeback, the What This Comedian Said Will Shock You author said, "What I'm not going to do is just lose my nervous system at every step of the way. I think he just thinks of power. He just wants to get that back. This is the guy who's probably going to be president again. He's certainly winning now, and Biden does not look like a very good candidate." Although Maher claims to be keeping his calm, for now the aftermath of the elections will decide how things ultimately transpire. Wallace also poked him, asking if he'd lose his mind once the results were out. Maher somewhat begrudgingly said, "We could lose a lot more than my mind." The new episode of Who's Talking to Chris Wallace coincides with more discussions around Trump, as the presumptive Republican nominee has been charged guilty on all 34 counts in the high-profile hush money trial. Becoming the first U.S. president to be a convicted felon, Trump declared the case rigged and other involved parties corrupt. As he awaits the real verdict on November 5, U.S. pollster Frank Luntz has already warned about the potential future happenings. Jail for Trump will make him a martyr, and the surging numbers on the Republican presidential nominee's donation page reflected the dysfunctional truth less than an hour after Trump's verdict was announced. His campaign page shared on social media, "So many Americans were moved to donate to President Trump's campaign that the WinRit pages went down."